His grandmother took the boy to Walmart to look at toys. He slipped away briefly, went to a cashier, and made two $1,000 purchases of Roblox gaming cards.
I also understand you celebrated with a little Crown Royal.
Yes. About 4 times.
I can handle it if I get a few honks here and there. Actually, being over 70, I might like a few honks.
You are listening to Keep Canada Weird.
Handsome Aaron Airport. I don't know about you, but I think I got a new lucky number tonight on episode 227 of Keep Canada Weird. I think we are going to keep Canada weirder than we ever have before. I have the most special drink I think I've ever had on the show next to me, and I'm just excited to see you. Before we get into all the festivities of keeping Canada weird tonight, let me ask you though, my friend, how are you doing over there?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. It is a bit of a rainy day / evening here today, so it's not the summer that I was hoping for, but I'm still making the best of it. I went to my cousin's birthday party today.
Oh, we love a party.
Yeah, and you'll love this. I had a cake that I've never had before.
Okay. Should I guess, or do you want to tell me the type of cake?
No, you'll never guess. So I'm just going to tell you, it was a hot milk cake.
What? I've never heard of such a thing.
Either have I. And it was really, really good. I don't know what makes it a hot milk cake, but that's what it was. It was just a very straight up cake. Vanilla, like a very light vanilla frosting on it that was very sweet and intense, but good.
And you still got it on the mind, obviously, so that cake touched you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And apparently it comes from the Cedar House restaurant in Bullindree, Nova Scotia. It's in Cape Breton. So not that far from my house, actually. And
so do you have like a behind this under the table deal with them to promote them?
Now, I'm going to stop you
a paid ad
right
behind
there.
my back?
In the past, all of our endorsements have been strictly organic. Things that we've tried in our regular lives that we just happen to love, and we talk about them on the show. Such as Cove, such as Robbins, donuts, all the list could go on of wonderful things. But this is something that I just encountered for the first time.
I'm excited for you.
And I know it's from the Cedar House restaurant. Shout out to them, a delicious cake. Next time I want cake, I'm going to get one from there. But apparently you got to order them in advance. So.
Okay. Do you want to say their website address, phone number, any of that stuff?
I just told you everything you need to know.
Okay. It's just all of these collab things or promotional things we've done in the past have been like these products that we both love. But for some reason, sitting down, feel like I'm listening to an ad. This is bullshit.
Just because I feel passionate about something and I can eloquently speak about it on the spot, that doesn't mean that I pre-prepared that. It just popped into my head, and I was like, oh, yeah, here's something that's made me feel good. Today, a piece of cake, hot milk cake.
Like I said, this is a safe place for you. If there's something you feel passionate about, Aaron, we support you. So I support milk cake in that Cedar House place that makes it. Let's get on with the show. It's episode 227. I know you got something prepared, and I'm so excited. I'm just going to sit back and give you the spotlight here again.
So, longtime listeners of the show know that Jordan has introduced a newish segment of Keep Canada Weird. That's usually off the top of the show, and it's called the Numbers segment. And I've been against it from the beginning. I've never liked it. I've always found it boring, and I just want to get into special drinks and the stories, right? But Jordan has been obsessed with the numbers. So I haven't enjoyed a single number segment yet, but I knew as we got closer to number 227 that is one in particular that I would like to stop and take over the numbers segment because I've got a doozy for you all listening right now. So, Jordan, did you know that the number 227 is the name of a sitcom from the 80s? That I used to love when I was a child.
227 is a sitcom? No.
It's a sitcom. Yeah, it's literally called 227. And I'll give you the synopsis of it right now from Wikipedia, just so I had something to make sure I got the details correct. Because it's a long time ago that I used to watch this show, but I always remembered it very fondly in my mind. And so 227 followed the lives of people in a middle-class apartment building, 227 Lexington Place, the numerical address from which the sitcom's name comes. So it's in a black neighborhood in Northeast Washington, D.C. The show was centered around Mary Jenkins, played by Marla Gibbs, a nosy and tart-tongued but loving housewife. Her husband, Lester Jenkins, played by Hal Williams, had his own construction company, and their daughter, Brenda, was a boy-crazy yet smart and studious young woman. So yeah, 227, the thing I remember specifically about it is that they would always hang out on the front stoop of the apartment building.
Great spot to hang out.
And they would just gossip and talk about whatever was going on in their lives. And yeah, it was very sassy. It was very funny. It was very light. I always really loved it. Yeah, I'm curious, were there any other 227 fans out there, children of the 80s? I think it started airing in the mid-80s and ran for a few years up until 1990. So that's, in a nutshell, everything you need to know about the number 227 and why I was so pumped waiting to get to this episode number 227 so I could talk about this show, because I remember watching it with my sisters growing up, and I used to laugh my butt off watching this show.
Well, that was an amazing introduction to the number 227. This is episode 227. We've been keeping Canada weird for a long time, and the number segment, I think, has just rejuvenated the show. I didn't know how you would do. You knocked it out of the park. Just in case you fumbled, though, I did have backup. I'm going to let our listener, Matt, also introduce the 227, and I'll let the listeners out there decide who did a better job.
Hey, guys. This is Matt from the Western United States. Normally, I dislike the number segment, but there seems to be a great deal of excitement and significance to the upcoming 227 episode, so I will put in my 227 cents. On February 27th of 2027, the 80s cruise is going to leave out of New Orleans, Louisiana. I will be on the ship, and I'm hoping to meet one of the headlining bands. It is a great Canadian band. They are still killing it out of Calgary, Alberta. They are a band called Loverboy.
Oh, so he's going on a rock and roll cruise on February 27th.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now, that's an interesting addition to the number segment. It's absolutely no sitcom called 227, but it's a close second, and yeah, I commend them for their efforts.
One criticism there has been of the number segment is it's not Canadian enough. You referenced an American sitcom that's about a family living in an apartment building somewhere in the United States. Despite Matt being in America, he did manage to tie it back to a Canadian connection, which is the band Loverboy, who had hit songs Turn Me Loose and Working for the Weekend. And he also had the cool numerology thing in there to an extent, because he's going on February 27th. I'm not going to say who wore it better, but I am going to say that both of you collabed on knocking the number segment for 227 out of the park. Now let me shine a spotlight on my special drink. I've never seen this before. I was at Costco last week, and they had a big case of Shirley Temple flavored Cove soda. I had to buy a 24-pack. That was on Sunday. It's now Wednesday, and this is my second to last one. Wow. I drank 22 of these things in 4 days.
Jeez.
Let's give it a rip. Oh, it's so good. I love a Shirley Temple. I've loved them since I was a kid. The Cove soda doesn't necessarily taste like a Shirley Temple, a 1-to-1 comparison, but it does have a subtle nod to the flavor of a Shirley Temple.
Wow.
I like this. What do you got there?
I'm back to it. I wouldn't say an old standard, but one a go-to of mine. It's an herbal tea. It's apple and cinnamon flavored, and it's just on a rainy evening like today. It's just the drink that I needed, so I am going to have a sip. It should be perfectly steeped, as I prepared it about 10 minutes ago. So here we go.
Wonderful. Now, you mentioned it's raining down there in Cape Breton. Some people see raining as a bit of a rejuvenation, maybe a cleansing of evil spirits on the grass and on the road. I think this episode of Keep Canada Weird is going to give us an opportunity to almost reset some of the storylines that we've been covering over the past probably 20 or 30 episodes. So basically for the last year, we've been talking for weeks now about the rise in misbehaving among senior citizens in Canada, something we've been tracking. We haven't yet come up with a name for it, though. We might tonight. We've also been talking about teenagers who have been misbehaving in this country. However, tonight, in this episode, we have two segments of stories we're going to get into. The first one is going to be a segment of stories related to Canadians behaving badly, none of which are teenagers or senior citizens. And our second segment of the show is going to be a collection of stories related to teenagers and senior citizens behaving well. So it's really like the whole thing is getting flipped around on itself. But this is going to be interesting. This is really a change in path from what we've been talking about.
It certainly is. Well, let's get into it because I really want to dive into some of these, what we would deem as unusual stories for us.
Okay, let's start with the Canadians behaving badly that aren't teenagers. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hear the story of a Montreal-based Zipline attraction that is going head-to-head against a misleading influencer. After this short break. Handsome Air and Airport. On Keep Canada Weird, we talk a lot about social media and influencers and all the horrible ways that they make life and society and this country worse for all of us. I think this story that we're about to open the show with is a perfect example. Here's the story of the misleading influencer in the Montreal business.
Going down is easy, but climbing back up is the new challenge at this zipline attraction in Montreal's Old Port. That's exactly what an employee was testing out when a content creator from Halifax caught it on camera.
I said, babe, you know what? See, look, that guy got stuck. Oh, God. And then I said, my first thing was, obviously, I'm a social media guy. So, everything I see, my eyes, anything interesting, I open up my camera, I start recording.
Lovepreet Singh posted that video online and called it an incident. It went viral and garnered 1 million views in just 24 hours. But when the president of the company, Samuel Cadotte, saw the post, he was shocked.
And we could see so many different comments of saying, I'm never doing this again.
So he asked Singh to take it down, or at the very least, change it to let viewers know there was no incident to begin with. But for the content creator, the video was making him money. So to remove it would cost Cadotte.
My social media is my source of income.
So Cadotte paid.
And to strike a deal, we had no choice.
They agreed on a $300 deal, and Singh took down the original video. He posted another one clarifying there was no incident to begin with.
It was not an incident, guys. Yes, the owner himself reached out to me.
The timing of the video made things worse. Cadotte says the summer season is when his business earns most of its yearly revenue. Cadotte has filed a police report and hired a lawyer.
And if people get the ideas of manipulating businesses again that people work so hard to build, well, I don't think it's a good idea.
But Singh insists he did nothing wrong.
This is not extortion. This is my business. I never said do not go to that zip line because that zip line had an incident.
Cadotte hopes this incident serves as a lesson that influence comes with accountability.
I hate that story. I hate that he's a Halifax influencer.
Yeah, the closer he is, he's closer to you than he is to me, but still too close to me for me to be comfortable. I have never followed this person on social media or have seen their content before this story.
Oh, it's just everything's wrong with this.
Yeah, he just rubs me the wrong way when I watch this news broadcast. So I'm probably not going to seek him out and hit that follow button. However, I'm seeing that we've hit a peak, I think, with this whole influencer culture, because we're starting to see the cracks now, I think, eventually, where their credibility is being challenged and corrected a lot now because they're so desperate for content and desperate for views that they're willing to bend the truth and distort reality in order to capture those followers. So I think we're now at its peak, maybe. I hope.
Regardless, hearing this story, I've never wanted to see AI slop take over social media as much as I do right now. Like, I would rather just AI nonsense than this kind of stuff happening.
I think it's the exact same as AI nonsense.
Yeah, it's basically human AI nonsense.
Yeah, it's human slop. Yeah. And because there is no difference between having AI create a fake video and putting that online as if it's real versus what this individual is doing. So I don't know. I say the internet is also, I don't know, something's going to change. We are going past the line now of how we're using this tool. We can't trust a single thing that we see or hear online anymore. And it's getting between scams, between people just flat out lying, bending the truth, and the fact that people make so much money being influencers, it totally skews their point of view on everything.
Yeah. A great lesson for everybody would be, if you see something stupid on your phone, don't even stop. Just keep scrolling past it. Eventually, the algorithms will just bury it. So long as you look at this stuff, whether you look at it because you like it or you look at it because you hate it, it doesn't matter to people like Lovepreet Singh or the platforms that provide him a platform and an income. They just want you to stop and interact with it for whatever reason or for any reason.
Yeah.
If you just scroll past it, it gets buried. And I think that's the best way to do it. But you said something there. You mentioned scammers and that there's scams all over the place. The next story, I think, is going to show us that nothing is sacred anymore when it comes to scammers. And as a testament to scammers' willingness to scratch the bottom of the moral barrel, I present to you, Handsome Aaron Airport, the story of the Ontario Apple Butter and Cheese Festival and the scammers that are targeting its vendors, of all things.
Every year on the last Saturday of September, crowds flock to Wellesley for the Apple Butter and Cheese Festival. So when an email was sent to Silver Creek Nursery inviting the business to apply to be a vendor this year, they said yes and were sent a form that appeared to match the one on the event website.
The form was identical, other than there was a price discrepancy on the form. And then so when we inquired about that, they basically told us there was just two different rates depending on what type of vendor category you fall under. So it seemed legit.
But when they went to pay to secure a vendor spot.
So basically then we sent payment because everything kind of seemed legitimate, and luckily the bank caught it.
Turns out the email was one of a couple scams that have been targeting potential festival vendors. Some invited businesses to apply for a vendor booth. Others said approved vendors need to pay $248 for insurance that will be refunded later. Both emails are scams. Now organizers worry about what could happen on festival day if there's someone out there that thinks they purchased a vendor spot in this scam.
They're going to show up and we're not going to have room for them. Nor have they paid to be a vendor at our festival.
Festival organizers say the difficult thing is there's not much they could do to stop these scams other than make people aware that they're happening. And while a couple $100 may not seem like much, Zach Muma says it would still be a blow for some businesses.
For a small business, that's a chunk of money, and it hurts if they would have actually lost it.
The amount of scams we've covered on this show, they're so varied and diverse. This one, it seems like a bottom of the barrel scam, because they're really going after, the scammers are going after, $250 here and there from a small town like Apple Orchard or something like that. It's a very small stake scam, but apparently something like this isn't that uncommon. I've come across several stories that are very similar to this. And that's why I wanted to highlight this one today. Have you ever seen a scam like this?
I haven't seen a scam like this. This is like a small town festival like this to be targeted in this way is just, again, it's like we're past our breaking point now. You can't do anything. Like, if anything should be safe to do without worrying about being scammed, it's a small town Apple festival. Like, this is beyond crazy now. Like, what is happening? Like, Nostradamus didn't predict this, right?
No, certainly not.
Like that was not in any of his quatrains that he wrote, and I'm beginning to think that he's a scam too.
No, everything he said or predicted was correct. But this one here, this scam, I could see why people would fall for it. It's so unexpected. It's so boring and kind of monotonous. Just so we need $248 for your, special admittance or something like that. And why would you second guess that? It just seems so everyday, typical.
Especially when you are planning to be a part of this Apple Festival.
So I wonder how they did it. Like, could the scammers find festivals, then look at, I don't know, like Facebook posts about those festivals last year, seeing which businesses took part, and then just write to those businesses as if you're the festival, asking for the $250, saying, next year's festival's coming. If you want your spot again this year, send us $248. And the amount is good too. Like, it's not $6,000 or some weird number. $248 sounds like a real number.
It's specific too. It's not $300. It's not $500. It's a very specific number. So they really are checking all the boxes, these scammers. Their plans now are to make the scam as realistic as possible. Whereas you remember in the 90s, when the internet was in its infancy and you were getting an email from some prince in a foreign country who had money that he needed to transfer and wanted to use your bank account to do it and just needed your banking information. And then he would give you 25% of it or whatever kind of cut that.
Which would be like $700 million or something.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was the kind of scams that were coming through down the line on the internet at the time. So it would be obviously a scam, and I'm sure they would have the rare person fall for it. But for the most part, most people would know, the red flags would be raised right away that was not a real thing. But now the scams are getting so specific and so, finely performed that it can be hard for the most intelligent, up-to-date individual to catch some of these things.
Yeah, you really just need to have a belief that if it involves anything, it's probably fake or a scam, especially if it involves the internet or your email.
You know what we need to do? And maybe this is a path to world peace.
Okay.
And hear me out on this, but the problem with these scams is that they're always coming from different countries. They're outside of the jurisdiction of your local law enforcement. So for the most part, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, there's nothing, if you were to call the police after getting scammed in a situation like this, there's nothing they can really do. So what if there was a universal governing body that all of the countries in the world agreed to, and they all provided officers for and individuals to work? And this governing body, this one entity, is able to police just scams around the world. So they're able to arrest these people, track them down, share resources, and they would be given the universal world authority to rein these people in. And then once they start rounding these people up, now this is one thing that we can all really get behind.
I like what you're thinking, but I don't know if you've watched the news at all lately. I don't know if the world collectively agrees on anything at all. I can't imagine all the countries supporting something like this and deciding who would pay for it. If you try to start something like this, it would end up leading to a world war. I can only assume.
No, I don't think so. I think we can all get on board.
Okay.
In terms of the United States, I don't know if Trump would be interested, but certainly all the other leaders in the world, because Trump is
every other one.
Every other one would, I think. But it would be interesting to try it. I don't know. Like it'll be impossible, I'm sure. It's just a fairy tale idea I'm having right now. But there has to be something that can be done about these people.
In lieu of this fairy tale organization taking power and putting a stop to this, I think understanding it and knowing the risks that are out there, I think knowing is half the battle at this point. Just like this, it said in this news clip here, is that the Apple Butter Festival or whatever, there's nothing they can do to stop this other than let everyone know it's happening. And we're helping amplify their voice a little bit here on Keep Canada Weird. What I would like to prevent is the day of this Apple Festival for there to be a whole bunch of people show up there expecting to get a table and there to be a bunch of, I don't know, trouble and broken hearts and maybe teary eyes at the Apple Festival when people are turned away from sharing their love of apples, I guess.
Yeah, is that what you think happens at Apple festivals?
I've never been to one, but I'm sure there's a lot of great apples there, all right? And I just don't want anything to get in the way of that. But let's move on.
I wonder if the doctors have a table at the Apple Festival, because an apple a day keeps a doctor away. So it would be good for doctors to be represented at the Apple Festival.
And teachers, right? Apparently teachers love apples.
And teachers too. Yes, you're right.
But anyway, let's move on. We just heard the story of a scam that seems to scratch the bottom of the barrel. We talked about how scams seem to take all shapes and sizes and come from all parts of the world. But the next story comes straight from this country of Canada. It involves a child who seems to be behind one of the largest heists I've ever heard of involving Roblox in-game currency. This may be the story of the night. Let me lay it on you this way. When an Ontario family realized their rainy day fund, which is an envelope containing about $2,000 in cash, was missing, suspicions pointed towards their 11-year-old son. What their investigation revealed is as shocking as it is brazen, as it is impressive. Here's the story of the $2,000 Roblox heist. Hold on to your hat for this one.
Roblox is an online platform where users play games, hang out with friends, and build their own virtual worlds. The game is free to play, but users can buy avatar items, tools, and clothing within the gaming universe.
He loves playing Roblox games.
Hong Jin and Jason Kim of Toronto say their 11-year-old son plays the video game. Recently, he was going to his grandmother's, and he took an envelope full of cash the family had saved for emergencies.
He took the whole envelope, which is more than $2,000, close to $3,000 in cash.
His grandmother took the boy to Walmart to look at toys. He slipped away briefly, went to a cashier, and made two $1,000 purchases of Roblox gaming cards. The family only found out when they noticed the cash was missing.
Couldn't believe that my small kid could spend $2,000 at Walmart.
The family returned to Walmart with the cards and receipts, but were told it was final sale, no refunds allowed.
How can a little kid can purchase $2,000 in cash and no one, had a suspicious about it?
When CTV News reached out to Walmart, a spokesperson said, "We reviewed this transaction and determined our associates acted appropriately. There are no age restrictions for purchasing gift cards at Walmart Canada." Jin is also concerned about the obsessive nature of the video game.
I never realized Roblox can be that addictive.
Ma'am, your kid is a career criminal in the making. I have so much to say about this story. Maybe we should start with Roblox. Do you know anything about this?
I know very little about Roblox. I know that my nephews play it, and I know it's very popular. I know it's basically an online platform. You can build your own games in it, and then you play other people's games that they've built. And
it's very popular among like this age group. Say like if you're under 13 and you have an iPad, you're probably playing Roblox. All the kids at school talk about it. Roblox itself, it is a game, but really it's the games within the game that are what people play. So just as you said, people can create games within Roblox. So when you play Roblox, you're playing these different games that people made. And the way the people who make the games make money is with these microtransactions. Like maybe we could make a Keep Canada Weird Roblox game where you got to run around the town going from Robin's Donuts to Robin's Donuts, buying coffee. And when bad guys approach you, throw Cove sodas at them, let's say.
Okay.
That would be our game. But the way it could work is if you pay, the game is free, but if you pay $5, you get to have, I don't know, a Keep Canada Weird t-shirt on your character. Or maybe you can pay $5 and you can have a gang of seniors that are running behind you and all throwing Cove sodas at the bad guys that are approaching. The bad guys would be teenagers. If anyone out there knows how to design a Roblox game, that would be a real cool one. But anyway, all this to say, kids get really addicted to it. So like my 8-year-old, all he wanted for Christmas last year was Robux, which is the in-game currency. So you would go to Walmart or whatever, and you would buy a gift card, which is, for $20, you get whatever it is, 200 Robux that he can have on his account and buy his special little features for the games he wants. So this kid is clearly addicted to it, so addicted to it that he performed an elaborate heist of his parents' rainy day fund envelope. And this was no accident. This 11-year-old designed and executed a plan to steal his parents' money, trick his grandmother into bringing him to Walmart. He flees his grandmother's watchful eye, runs up to the cash register, and spends $2,000 in cash on Robux gift cards. What do you think of this?
I think it boils down to one issue here, and it's don't leave your rainy day fund in an envelope in your bedroom or wherever it was.
Where your 11-year-old knows? I thought about that because I was kind of thinking a big part of this story is going to be you and I deciding who's at fault here. And I thought, like, should the parents have the rainy day fund in a spot where the kid knows? And then I thought, I myself have an envelope of cash. It's nothing like $2,000, but my kids would know where it is. And the way I justify them knowing is maybe there was an emergency or something that they needed to be involved in some way. Like, I just like the idea of there being cash that if we need it, we all know where it is. So I'm kind of defending the parents for trusting their 11-year-old, especially if he has never done something criminal like this in the past. So I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's fair to say the kid shouldn't know where the fund is. Everyone should have some cash lying around.
Well, yeah, maybe a couple $100 at the most, just as an emergency thing. Like, if you want to have an emergency kit, that's got some bottled water and other emergency items in it.
Let's name them. Flashlight
and a first aid kit and the obvious things. We can sit here and do work for the emergency kit companies and come up with the list of things they should have in their kits. But
maybe we could have a hot milk cake in there.
Okay, anyway. Okay, yeah. So maybe $500 tops.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Just that way, if something happens to it, if somebody breaks into the home, steals it, if your home is set on fire, it's not $2,000, $3,000, whatever. It's an amount of money that you're not afraid to lose, but would come in handy in an emergency.
Yeah, exactly. That's an emergency amount. Anything over, say, $2,000, that's more so like a home maintenance emergency fund. Like something goes wrong with your furnace or you need like some big thing done. You have a problem with your car and you need the money. You probably shouldn't have that much money lying around. But in this story, I don't necessarily think it's the parents' fault. Do you think the parents are to blame in general?
I don't know. I blame them for having $2,000 lying in an envelope.
Okay. So
I think wean that down to a couple $100 and it's not as big of a deal. Kids are going to steal. And good kids will steal because they're just, I stole
2,000. No, yeah, but I would have stole small things when I was a teenager. I stole cigarettes, 1 or 2.
But I have to be honest. There was never a point in time in my childhood when I knew of an envelope with $2,000 in it lying around somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know if I haven't been in that position. There certainly wasn't $2,000 in cash at my house growing up. So I don't know.
No.
So we'll come back to this. What about the grandmother? Lost track of an 11-year-old in Walmart? Is that a risk?
No, that's an everyday occurrence. I have no fault on the grandmother. I have no fault on the Walmart employee either. They're just doing their job. They're just following protocol.
The grandmother was just a pawn in this kid's elaborate scheme. Yeah. You said you don't have any blame to direct towards the Walmart stuff. Do you not think they should have maybe asked a few questions when an 11-year-old came up to the counter buying $2,000 worth of gift cards?
What are you going to do? Deny him? What if she did ask and he was like, I've been saving up my birthday money for Roblox. Where's the threshold at what point in time? There's nothing in the training manual that tells you not to do this.
Yeah, and as we heard in that clip there, Walmart reviewed the transaction and the employee did nothing wrong. It's basically like a systemic thing. Should Walmart implement a rule where kids under whatever age can't buy gift cards? I think gift cards, the whole thing is so sketchy anyway. They should just get rid of them to begin with. But yeah, I think in this case, I don't know. I don't know who's at fault. One other person I'll mention who will throw into this, the parents seem to think Walmart's at fault. In the news clip, they were mad that Walmart sold it to the kids. They brought the gift certificates to Walmart, who wouldn't provide a refund, which I'm not surprised by because that's the way gift cards work in general. The news clip ends with the parents saying, or quoting the parents or whatever, saying, and the family is surprised by how addictive Roblox is.
Yeah.
Is that almost like a Hail Mary blame of Roblox? If Roblox is responsible for this, think of what the company behind Pokemon cards is responsible for.
Yeah, if you're going to... These parents are definitely deflecting a lot of the blame in any direction that they can throw it. And I'm not flat out blaming the parents either. This is a learning lesson, I think, for the parents of... Maybe we need to have a conversation with our child about this situation, and maybe we need to rethink our strategy for where our rainy day money is kept.
I think they do. So let's end it with this. This wasn't a teenager. None of these stories were seniors. Are we completely off base by pointing our finger so aggressively towards seniors and teenagers for all the problems in this world?
So you're suggesting that all of humanity is a problem.
Maybe there's an issue in the middle there between the ages of 13 and 64. And maybe we've been overlooking it all these years, spending all this time worrying about what to name the senior segment. As you hear after our next break, we're going to hear a bit of a redemption song for senior citizens because we have two stories still to come involving seniors that are actually quite pleasant. How does that make you feel?
Nervous.
Well, buckle your seatbelt, handsome Aaron Airport. Let's take our second break, our final break for the night. When we come back, we'll get into our redemption segment. We have two senior citizens doing un-antisocial things and a teenager who saves a damn shark after this short break. I got a feel-good story for you here, handsome Aaron Airport. A 92-year-old golfer in Chatham, Ontario has done something many golfers never managed to do in their entire lives. She hit a hole-in-one. And I don't know. You tell me when we finish this, is this a souring senior? We'll see.
Congratulations, we overheard.
Thank you.
There's a lot to celebrate at the Links of Kent, and Verna Philby isn't one to let a little thing like being 92 slow her down.
My dad used to say, when we work hard, and when we play just as hard.
And apparently she's still playing just as hard. This is the 8th hole, an 89-yard par 3. Verna stepped up to the tee Tuesday, took her shot, and kept going.
Well, I didn't realize it had happened until Rick came back. The marshal came back and told me it's in the hole. I said, it is not. He said, it is so. I didn't believe it at all.
But there was no argument with the scorecard. And once it finally sank in...
Once I realized that it happened, I thought, my God, I did that.
She did. And according to club staff, she's been inspiring everyone on the greens.
That's amazing. At 92, getting a hole-in-one is absolutely amazing.
But for Verna, golf isn't really about the numbers.
I enjoy it. And when I golf, I don't think of anything else. The rest of the world is gone by.
She says her age has become part of the fun. The ace also happened to come on her brother's 91st birthday, and Verna made sure he heard all about it.
He had a big smile, and he said, oh, that's fabulous.
And then, of course, there was a little celebration.
I also understand you celebrated with a little Crown Royal.
Yes. About 4 times.
I love that story. I love a senior defying the odds. At 92, golfing is an accomplishment. A hole-in-one? And then getting hammered afterwards?
Yeah. Do you find that part's problematic?
I think it may be suggestive of a bigger issue that's maybe happening, that's maybe boiling below the surface.
Yeah, I think so. I think, 4 shots of Crown Royal, that's whiskey, right? That's.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you suggesting that maybe when she's not golfing and being filmed, she's up to hijinks?
Well, she sure enjoys bragging to her brother about this is the part that really dug at me, where it's like at face value, this woman, it's like, oh, I'm a nice woman and I just hit a hole in one. Ooh, everyone loves me. And then she goes to her brother, who, let's state the obvious, can't play golf because of his situation. And she's like, oh, I got a hole in one, brother. Oh, you'll never get a hole in one, but I did.
You're too old to.
You're too old to. Yes, you're past your prime, brother.
Then she starts making like a clock ticking sound.
Not much time left for you. If you hit a hole in one, then you get another 10 years. But I was the one that hit a hole in one, so I'll live until 102.
There could be something. And as she's making this call, she's doing shots of Crown Royal. And this is probably after she just finished taking her grandson to Walmart to help him steal his parents' money.
Yeah, she knew exactly what that $2,000 was going to be spent on.
Yeah. Go now.
She's
go
like,
quick.
she's like, I'll take you to Walmart with the $2,000 if you give me $500 so I can go buy some Crown Royal.
Anyway, all that is speculation. We don't know if that's true.
No, it's true. It's true.
Okay. So let's move away from seniors then. We'll come back to a senior. Let's give a teenager a chance to redeem the teenagers. Last week, we heard the cinematic story of a BC man who saved an otter with mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Now we're going to go to New Brunswick and hear a sort of companion piece. This is the story of a teenager who saved a shark. And this is a cool one. Good luck trying to say anything bad about this kid.
Finn Holland has walked this beach by his Maces Bay home for over a decade. In that time, he has seen a few seals, a beached whale carcass, but never any shark sightings. Until this weekend.
I felt like I did the right thing, and it feels good.
Just before dinner Saturday afternoon, Holland heard a port beagle shark had washed ashore. He went right to the beach, and a closer inspection determined the shark was still living. He wasted no time jumping into action to save the over 100-pound fish.
I flipped him over from his back to his stomach, and I grabbed his tail slowly with subtle touch and pulled him, dragged him into the water.
If I'm being honest, it's a very Finn thing to do.
Finn's mother, Jill Holland, is beaming with pride for her son's efforts. But during the rescue, she had other thoughts.
I was terrified. He grabbed onto the tail slowly, but I was like, that thing can whip around and get you at any time. I was convinced we were going to go to the hospital that night, but very, very lucky we didn't have to.
Port beagle sharks tend to stay in the Bay of Fundy's deep waters and are declining in numbers. Marine Animal Response Society co-executive director Tanya Wimmer isn't sure what brought the shark to shore, but is pleased to hear about the happy ending.
To care that much and, obviously refuse to sort of simply walk by and see an animal that is suffering in that way is really quite wonderful.
Rural community of Fundy Shores Mayor Denny Cogswell says the municipality plans to formally recognize Finn's heroics in the days ahead. But for the 15-year-old, it was never about the recognition. It was about doing the right thing.
I don't take pride in myself a lot, but I'm proud that I did this.
The listeners can't see me right now, but I have my hat off for Finn, the shark-saving teenager. He did the right thing. This is a very much a companion piece to the sea otter thing, where they allow him to tell the story, and he told it in kind of a weird way. He said he carefully and subtly grabbed the shark and pulled it towards the water. My only criticism of this newscast is they should have just allowed him to elaborate further and further, maybe reenact it like the sea otter guy did, because the more he spoke last week, just the better it got. I would have liked to hear more Finn in this story.
Certainly. And I'll say this before I get into how I really feel about the story. But I do want to congratulate Finn on doing the right thing and saving the shark. being brave. And I love sharks. I'm a big fan. And I love stories where people go above and beyond to save an animal that's in harm.
Okay.
So having said that, I did feel that there was a little interesting point made at the very end of the story, which I would like to highlight. So his mother claims that he didn't do it for any attention or anything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then why was it filmed? And then follow up, if it was filmed and he didn't want it to be filmed, but she filmed it anyway, wouldn't he be like, don't put that up? That's not why I did it. I don't want a news coverage. I don't want any attention for this. I just was doing what was right in the moment. It's not about getting accolades. It's not about becoming famous. So what do you think?
That's a good point. I do kind of wish that they would that the news would have explained how they even found out about this story. Like if this guy just, due to his own passion for making the world a better place, took it upon himself to run and save the shark quickly, how did the news find out?
Yeah. Because if he really didn't want the accolades and the attention, I'm sure he could have stopped his mother. And I assume that's who made this story public.
Maybe there could have been other people on the beach, and maybe the news knew this was a great story, so they just been hounding him. And maybe he doesn't want the accolades, but he doesn't want to take it away from his mom because she was quite clearly proud of him. So maybe he's like, I don't want this attention, but my mom is so proud of me. I'm going to, allow her to have this moment as, mom of the year, raising a shark-saving son.
Perhaps. So anyway, I just want to call into question the moral compass of this child who clearly was doing this for attention and told his mom, get your phone out right now. And she's like, I don't want to record it. Maybe I need to dial 911. And he's like, no, get your phone out. Film me doing this. I'm going to be on the Discovery Channel.
I guess it's refreshing to have a story involving a teenager that doesn't involve us describing our instinct to cross the street when they come towards us. Let's move on to our final story of the night. This I've been hiding up my sleeve like an ace. It is, I think, the story of the night, maybe the story of the year, but it comes with a caveat. This is a show that covers weird Canadian news. Every so often, there's a story that happens outside of Canada that is so weird, so interesting, so unique that it overshadows international borders. I'm going to present a story that takes place in the United States, but it's a story so weird, I think it takes place in the world. You get what I'm saying? This is a big one.
Yeah, I know what the world is.
Here we go. I don't even know how to introduce this other than to say this is maybe my favorite thing I've ever seen on the news. It involves a senior citizen, I think she's 70-something, in Florida, who received her new license plate in the mail, and magic happens. Here's the story.
Really? Really? No, GMV, no. That's what I said. No, GMV. You're going back. That's what I said.
When Nancy Delastrita went to collect her mail, she got quite the surprise, a new license plate with her vehicle registration renewal.
And I looked at it and I said, I don't think so.
The plate reads SQZ-A55, but from a distance, those 55s can be read as S's. Well, you get the picture. Squeeze blank.
I don't think a woman that lives in a senior community that's going to be 77 years old next month will be driving around with what this plate has to say.
The plates become the talk around her retirement community, especially the men. We were with her when she showed it to one of her 89-year-old neighbors.
And this is what I received from the DMV for my new license plate. That's good for 10 years. Good. Good?
Nancy's plate was mailed from the Broward Property Tax Collector's office. We went there to try to help her get some answers.
It's a question about a tag, if you want to replace a tag.
And while no one wanted to talk on camera, we were told anyone unhappy with a plate can turn it in for another one for free.
I'm kind of resigning to it, and I figured maybe it was just destined to be on my car.
So for now, Nancy's keeping the tag, although she is planning to let the state know about it. She'll see the reaction when she goes public with her new plate.
I can handle it if I get a few honks here and there. Actually, being over 70, I might like a few honks.
Oh, man. I love that lady.
Yeah, she's a bit of a hypocrite, though.
Well, because she did, she was given the option to turn in the plate. She's like, you know what?
Well, she was,
I'm going to keep
she
this.
said flat out early in the story, like, I don't like what this license plate says. And then she's like, but I am going to keep it, and I don't mind if people honk at me. In fact, I love getting honked at.
Are you surprised that this license plate exists? Like, we have so many forbidden things on Canadian license plates, so you'll never get like a curse word or anything unusual on your license plate. In Florida, their license plate has these two oranges kind of in the background, which sort of look like a butt anyway. And then hers clearly says squeeze ass.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you need to look to see that they're fives.
Yeah, yeah. From a distance, absolutely, it looks like squeeze ass. So,
I think she loves it.
It is a really cool coincidence, and even if I got new plates, because at a certain point in time, the attention you'd be getting from driving around with those plates would probably get obnoxious after a while. But you could probably get a new plate and then see if you could keep that old plate as a souvenir.
I like it. And I think this plate, it couldn't have been given to a better person, except maybe the guy we covered a while back who has the license plate trees. The
Grabber? It was
Grabber,
I think.
Well, we talked about Grabber, who's the guy in Nova Scotia. He had his last name, Grab Her, on his license plate for years, and then the province refused to renew it because said it could be seen as offensive. So he went to war, to court and everything with the province forever, and he eventually lost, so he couldn't keep his Grabber license plate. But what I was referencing was we heard the story maybe 5 or 6 episodes ago about the guy in Cape Breton who had a ton of license plates that he nailed up in trees.
Oh, yeah. He collected the license plates and hung them on trees. Right?
I bet you he got the sense of humor where he'd love a squeeze-ass plate.
But he would let it rot outside and rust up like he does all of his other license plates.
Yeah.
So he doesn't take care of his plates well enough. I wouldn't want him to have one as good as this one.
No, I think this is great on this lady's car. It couldn't be in a better spot. But again, that leads me to the big question here. We've been talking about souring seniors, or what we refer to as seniors behaving badly. We heard a story tonight of a 92-year-old woman who gets a hole-in-one. How does she celebrate? Having a bunch of drinks. We hear this lady with the provocative license plate who seems to want to keep it. And if you want to be a bit conspiratorial, we heard a story earlier involving the heist of $2,000 in cash that, in at least a small way, a senior citizen, the grandmother, played a part in it. Are these all stories of souring seniors?
I think so, yeah.
And is that what we're going to call it?
At this point in time, it's still souring seniors. We've had some great submissions, and souring seniors was sort of a submission. It was seniors souring, and then we switched it to souring seniors.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to be honest about that. We stole it.
Actually, edit that out. No, yeah, we came up with it. Souring seniors is 100% us. Absolutely.
We have many more submissions on potential names for our seniors behaving badly segment. Up until now, souring seniors may be it, but that may change after you hear this next batch. We have Ellis, Joan, Luke, Kelly, and Marcy providing us some potential options, and there's a lot of good ones here. Get your pen and paper out, Handsome Air and Airport.
I didn't call in earlier with this suggestion about the senior issue because I thought for sure someone would have already said it. But I am suggesting senior delinquents. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And this is Joan from Napa, California.
Hey guys, Ellis in North Carolina. You could just call it the senior discounts.
This is Kelly, your correspondent from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I came up with insidious seniors. What do you think, guys?
Hello, this is Lucas from Columbus, Ohio. This is my suggestion for the senior problem name, aggressive aging.
Hi, guys. This is your regular listener, Marcy from British Columbia. I had the idea of Adventures of the Old and Bold. Looking forward to your choice.
We have some really good ones here.
We do.
Senior Delinquents is pretty good.
Senior Delinquents. You know, I like Insidious Seniors. And, you know, we could do another flip around one again where I think it was Ellis that suggested seniors discounts.
Yeah.
But it could be flipped around, discounted seniors.
Morally discounts? The seniors moral discount? Because it is a moral decline we're discussing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the seniors themselves have been discounted. So they're discounted seniors as opposed to seniors discounts.
Yeah, that's interesting. Adventures of the Old and the Bold. I don't like it as the name for the segment, but again, it's
a better soap opera.
Oh, could you imagine?
Welcome back to Adventures of the Old and the Bold, as Rhonda, 97, takes her 11-year-old grandson to Walmart in a Roblox scheme that will blow your mind.
Yeah, what this shows me is that there are so many incredible ideas out there. If we can only harness the power of the Keep Canada Weird Nation, I think we can accomplish just about anything, even coming up with a great name for the Souring Seniors Behaving Badly segment. Let me ask you this, though, Aaron. Unrelated to Souring Seniors, was 227 the best episode of Keep Canada Weird we've done yet? And a great television show?
Yes, it became our greatest episode because for the first time in my life, I got to share a memory of a show that I loved, 227, with everyone. So that's what put this episode over the edge for me personally.
Very few opportunities to reference that TV show, I can only imagine. I'll look up a clip on YouTube and see what I've been missing all these years. Maybe it holds its own after all this time. We'll see. Before we put a bow on this episode, one quick administrative note. I've been behind on the Keep Canada Weird swag packs. Again, by having your voicemail aired on the show, you qualify for some stickers that get sent to you lovingly by mail from me here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I was behind a bit waiting to get my stickers renewed, getting a new package from the place that manufactures my stickers. I got it. I just mailed out 65 swag packs yesterday. All over the world they're going. So if you're waiting for a swag pack, it's on the way. And if you aren't waiting for a swag pack because you didn't know that you get one, if you go to thecanadiangothic.com/contact and share with us a voicemail, by having your voice aired on the show, you go back to that same website, thecanadiangothic.com/contact, click on the button that says claim your swag pack. It'll ask you for your mailing address. And sometime within the next 3 or 4 months, I'll send you a new swag pack. And the next set of them are going to get leveled up because I'm out of stickers again. But when I reorder some, I'm going to get some like kind of limited edition ones of Ken Tiggs and my sweet girl Penny. They'll be included. And I often got a whole bunch of decks of cards from Robin's Donuts. When we did our Robin's Donuts collab, they just sent me a whole bunch of decks of cards. And I don't need a bunch of decks of cards. And a deck of cards, playing cards, is too thick to mail. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle in some Robin's Donuts playing cards in these swag packs. Because why the hell not?
That's a great idea. Yeah. Any reminder of Robin's Donuts is a good thing. So I think that's great. And I think we should put a bow on this thing.
Let's do it. Handsome Aaron Airport. Until next time.
Jordan, bus stop, backhoe, shark saving Bonaparte. Until next time.
Next time you're scrolling through social media and you see someone being like, oh my God, there's an incident at this local cedar house and the hot milk cake is soured. Don't believe it. It's probably okay.
And Jordan, until next time, all I want you to do right now when you edit this episode is insert a clip of the 227 theme song right now.
I want to thank you for helping Aaron and I fulfill our mission to keep Canada weird. Now, if any one of you listening want to get more involved in what we're doing, we need all the correspondence we can get. So if something weird happens in your area, or if you have any thoughts on anything we discussed tonight, let us know about it. The best way to reach us is by using the voice recorder that can be found at thecanadiangothic.com/contact. Now, I'm going to start wrapping up the episode, but before we part, let us thank a few people. First of all, Aaron and I want to give a big thank you to all the correspondents who contributed to this episode. If your voice message was aired on the show, go back to thecanadiangothic.com/contact and fill out the form to claim your swag pack and Keep Canada Weird badge. We'll happily get it right out to you. Next, a big shout out to Unicole for the intro and outro voiceovers, and Monty Data, who provides the outro version of O Canada that you're about to hear. And then lastly, but most importantly, we have a massive thank you to every one of you listening, as without your interest and your support, this work would be impossible. And for any one of you out there who want to support the show financially and get more out of the show at the same time, please consider the premium feed. Our premium feed subscription costs just a couple bucks a month, and that money will fund the creation of new episodes. But the premium feed will also give you those episodes early, give them to you ad-free, and give you access to a full back catalog of Keep Canada Weird episodes and bonuses. You can go premium at thecanadiangothic.com/subscribe. And even if the premium feed isn't for you, you can still support the show by simply sharing episodes on social media. That's free, and it's a big help. So until next time, take care of each other, hug your loved ones tight, and please keep Canada weird.
Have a great day, and please keep Canada weird. We need it in these trying times. Bye.